We're back, boy. Yeah. There's a guy outside.
He's just standing there, menacingly.
It's the hash slinging, the slash slinging.
Just hear those sleigh bells jingling, ring ting tingling too. Come on, it's lovely weather for Krampus to gather for you. Is your computer working?
Yeah.
Hey.
It only took a week.
Yeah. 4 years later.
You know, that's the same voice actor that does SpongeBob. He
Doing
does all
the French
He
things?
does all the title
That's
things.
funny. All right, you ready to fire this thing off?
Yeah, let's do this.
Cool. I got some questions for you.
Ooh,
to start us
questions
off.
plural?
Questions plural. There's
Ooh.
5 of them actually.
Oh boy, I didn't bring my pen and paper. This is a test.
No. It's not a test. I just want to kind of get your initial reactions, I guess, on
Okay.
all of these, and so we can, I'll just start asking you questions.
Okay,
You just
yeah.
give me your answer.
All right, I'm ready.
So if we're supposed to learn from our mistakes, why is everybody so mad when we make mistakes? Like, aren't we just studying?
Oh, you're going philosophical.
Philosophical.
On me now.
Some of them are philosophical.
Man.
Yeah.
I mean, I just go back to Yoda. There is no do. There is no try. There is only do. You can't.
Okay.
I mean, you can't.
So you're saying you're justified in getting angry at people for their mistakes.
That's not what I said. I said you only do, like, you have to break a few eggs to make an omelet. Like, you have to crack a glow stick to make it glow. Like, you have to.
So you're saying mistakes are necessary.
Mistakes are absolutely
to
necessary
learn and move forward.
to learn. But if you refuse to learn from those mistakes, then getting angry at those mistakes, especially if they're repetitive mistakes.
Sure.
So I would say if you repeatedly make the same mistake, being angry about it is valid.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. Cool. Number 2, you've heard the saying, time is money, right?
Uh-huh.
Does that mean that ATMs are time machines?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Next one. If your future self came back to warn you about something, but started every sentence with, no judgment, but would you still listen to them?
100%. Like, that's valid. Knowing myself, listen.
Yeah.
That would be the same thing. So listen.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. And that's how I would approach myself.
Yeah.
Hey, bud, listen.
You're
judgment,
you're trying your best, but no judgment here. To each their own, which to me their own, but
Yeah.
yikes.
All right, this one's going to be another philosophical one.
Oh boy.
If someone clones you and your clone does something embarrassing, should you be held responsible to apologize for it?
No.
This one hurt my head too. I was thinking about it because, like, I'm working on the assumption that they mean like a direct clone, right? Like, so if we had the ability now,
a direct sentient clone,
I just copy you basically,
like control copy,
Yeah.
control paste,
which means that everything that's about that clone's personality, memory, way of operating in the world, all that kind of stuff is all you. So should you have to apologize?
Honest, though, I would just like kind of let them do the stupid things that I would feel embarrassed about and be like,
Sorry, it's me, but it's not me.
yeah. Well, I guess it would be like like a twin, like an identical twin.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't have to apologize for something they do, even though they are, in essence, a copy of you.
But in all fairness, though, like when you talk about twins, right? Like, yes, they like grow up together and they are, as far as like genetics, the same person, but everybody has different things that happen in their lives that could sway you one direction or another in what you do, right? So like one twin could have like a bad interaction somewhere that sends them down the path, like the creating like the evil person type of thing. And then the other one turns out good. So
But then you would have to bring in ethics. Is one, are they actually a person? 2, at what point do they stop being a copy of you and be their own self?
right. Yeah, I agree. I didn't have a solid answer for this one.
Right.
I read it and was like, oh,
It's one of those things where, like, I hate to pull ethics into philosophical questions because that's not the point.
Right.
But again, it's like you just said, like at what point do they diverge from you and become their own person?
Yeah, exactly.
Or are they a person?
$1 million question.
Yeah.
All right. Last question.
Okay.
If laughter is the best medicine, does that mean that comedians are pharmacists?
100%.
Cool.
Patch Adams.
Yeah, heck yeah. That's a great one. I didn't even think about that in relation to that.
Yeah.
Solid answers. All right, man. Let's kick this thing off. Good morning, Josh.
Good morning, Josh.
Recognize me? No? Well, I'm Josh.
I got suspended from school because of Josh.
You're going to be there with me in every way imaginable, Josh.
Josh is truly in a trance, yes.
I went to high school with Josh, and I can tell you right now, he's a terrific kisser.
Hi, I'm Josh.
Josh, these are people's jobs we're talking about, Josh.
Josh walking in the door wasn't even close.
Josh, you are a muffin-snuggling pirate puncher.
Josh is a good guy. We can talk to him.
Please welcome Joshua. Josh!
Yeah, boy.
I
Sorry.
guess I really didn't have to do my own air horn there.
That's more fun when you join it. I like it.
World Star.
Well, if you keep track of where we're at, this is our first episode of the month, which means that for the month of December, it is time for our Cryptid of the month. Josh is up for this one, so I'm going to let him take us into our time of mythology and secrecy and all the other weird things that we
should have
discussed
brought.
around cryptids.
You should have had the fantasy one that queued up. So as we know, today officially kicks off the holiday season.
Yep, we're headed towards Christmas.
Yep, and it is finally Christmas, so you can go ahead and put up your Christmas decorations now because today is December 1st.
That is correct.
I am one of those people.
Thanksgiving is over with now, so you may put up your Christmas decorations.
Right,
I'm with you
exactly.
100% on that one.
Exactly, and no shade to people who have already had their Christmas tree up for a month or things like that, but it's not my bag.
You can say no shade. I'm throwing all the shade. Thanksgiving is a great holiday for us to join with family, to give thanks to the Lord for all of his blessings in our lives. We need to celebrate Thanksgiving, and then you can move on to Christmas.
Right. I guess my qualms with this time of year is just the over commercialization.
Yep.
And Christmas just pushing into everything.
Yeah, it's getting earlier and earlier every year.
Like as soon as the Halloween decorations went away, it was all Christmas stuff.
Not even when they were gone.
Yeah, that's
away.
true. Like the back part of Walmart where they
Right.
keep all the seasonal stuff. It was like
It was Christmas
at the end of July.
Yeah,
They had all their stuff, and it was.
yeah, it was. It was very early this year.
But for those of you who get the joy, the excitement of putting your Christmas tree up,
God bless you.
good for you.
Yeah.
Love you. Obviously, no shade on this side of the table, but maybe a little bit on the other side.
Yes, sir.
So, 'tis the season for joy, generosity, and an uncontrollable consumer panic. We're kicking things off with someone who's basically the anti-Santa.
Uh-oh.
So, a creature that answers a question: what if Christmas needed a bouncer?
Hey.
So today we are talking about Krampus.
Krampus.
The horned, shaggy, child-snatching, chain-rattling holiday demon who proves that even Christmas has a dark side.
My man. I'm just kidding.
So grab your coffee, your hot chocolate, your blankets, and maybe just maybe don't do anything bad while you're listening to this episode.
Yeah.
So picture it. It's winter in the Swiss Alps. Snow piling high, nights lasting forever, and Wi-Fi isn't invented yet. Truly, truly terrifying. You're a medieval villager trying to survive the cold, the wolves, the darkness, and the existential dread that comes from not knowing if the sun plans to return this year. Naturally, your culture creates comforting traditions, feasts and songs and community gatherings, and also, for some reason, a goat demon whose job is to beat your children if they misbehave. Because balance.
That's hilarious.
So welcome to Alpine folklore. So the origins dive deep into a pre-Christian beginnings.
Okay.
So Krampus is old, like older than Santa, older than Christianity, older than the uncle who refuses to update his iPhone.
Oof.
His origins likely come from ancient alpine pagan traditions woven into the midwinter season long before anyone was dashing through the snow for fun. So this is one of the really weird things that I didn't realize that Krampus was a thing before St. Nicholas was a thing.
Right. Yeah. I think that I caught wind of that, like, because I was watching some videos that talked about, like, the Krampus, like, kind of, I don't know if you call it like a festival or whatever, but like where they actually have people dressed as Krampus.
Yeah.
They go around and like visit houses and stuff. And so I don't want to step on anything that you're talking about, but like, yeah, I remember in one of those videos they talked about the fact that in certain regions, right, that Krampus has been around for longer than Saint Nick.
Yeah. So let's kind of break it down. So first of all, it's the horned spirits of winter. In very early alpine cultures, winter wasn't just a season, it was more of a monster because unpredictability, shifting weather patterns, things like that, things that we would see now as, natural occurrences and the like.
They were looking for some kind of explanations for them.
Right. So people personified it with horned spirits, masked figures, and demons meant to scare off evil, drive away bad luck, and ensure the village survived. So it's one of those things where they took their knowledge of, hey, we need something to protect us from this beast called winter.
Right.
So they would have beast spirits representing cold and hunger, fertility demons who blessed livestock, masked quote-unquote wild men who cleansed the community for the new year.
Nice.
So these weren't monsters. These were necessary.
All good things.
It's like waiting or a walking antivirus software with horns.
Jeez.
So before Krampus, there was Prekton, creatures tied to the goddess Prekta, who inspected homes in midwinter.
Inspected homes?
Yes. So
she's like, your insulation's not quite up to snuff here.
Yeah. This isn't to code.
Yeah.
Your shed is leaning at a 35-degree angle.
Do you see where your gutters come together there? They have to be at a very specific trim and everything.
So I'm just going to give a disclaimer. There is a lot of Eastern European words in here, a lot of Scandinavian, a lot of Swiss, a lot of German, Austrian. I'm going to do my best.
He's going to nail all of them.
So,
and those of you out there listening to our podcast won't know any difference anyways.
So she had two kinds of followers, Sprotzenketten, which are the beautiful spirits, and the Sprachsigputen, the ugly demon-like spirits. And guess which kind Krampus resembles?
The second one.
Exactly. So 3 was the fears or rituals of fears and fun. Krampus likely evolved from these masked winter performers who ran through the towns, made noises to scare off evil, and visited homes with jokes, scares, and blessings. This was basically medieval Halloween meets early Christmas, like with a dash of please don't let winter kill us. So naturally, the next step is the Christian fusion.
Oh, right.
So
to be clear, Krampus in the very beginning was simply one of these entities that they had kind of invented in a sense
to help combat
ward off winter in a sense, right?
Exactly.
So he was one of them that was out in the streets and was doing some kind of ritualistic thing.
Like trying to scare away things.
Yeah, to make winter stay away from the village. Okay.
So, and this was a very pagan culture. Christianity hadn't reached that far yet. When Christianity arrived in the Alps, it came face to face with centuries of beloved traditions, as it does. Mm-hmm. Many of which involve people dressing as a goat demon chasing their neighbors with sticks.
Can you imagine this though? Because that like the Christians, the first ones that came into these places came in probably somewhere in the spring, right?
Yeah.
They're like, we have to wait until wintertime's over with so
we can
like,
actually
roads
get
are
there
clear and all
yeah.
that kind of stuff. We can get to these villages and everything. We're going to go in and we're going to be missionaries and evangelize these places that are full of all these pagans. So you get to these villages,
right?
You get in place and everything seems great. Summertime's there. The Swiss Alps are beautiful in the summertime.
You have the snow on the peaks of the mountains and
gorgeous.
The green foliage because of all the snow melt and the water.
The hills are alive with the sound of music.
Right.
It's like so they're going
Julie
through all
Andrews is just spinning through the fields.
She's running through fields and stuff. Yeah, everything's beautiful. And then all of a sudden, wintertime gets there, and you look out your window down the street towards the main square in town, and what do you see?
This
Another human being dressed as a goat demon.
Running with the stick, yelling, beating on doors.
Whipping children.
Yeah.
Yeah, all that good stuff.
So naturally, the early church tried to ban it.
Yeah.
As the early church did. The villagers were like, no, that's not happening. The church was like,
they're like, how will we keep the winter away, though?
The church, pretty please. Villagers, nope, we really need this. Like, in their minds, this is what's warding off the bad winter. So the church improvised.
Okay.
They pivoted. Enter Saint Nicholas.
Right.
The kind, compassionate, gentle giver of gifts. But he had a problem. He only rewarded the good children. Which left the question, what about the terrible
What about
one?
the bad kids? Yeah, what do we do with them?
So enter Krampus. So the church basically said, I guess we can keep your demon, but he works for us now.
That's crazy.
Right. Basically, this turns into the good cop, bad cop of Christmas.
Yeah.
So on December 5th, which is in 5 days from now, Krampusnacht, the two travel together. So Saint Nick gives the gifts, Krampus doesn't.
Yeah, to say the least. Yeah.
So Krampus handles the naughty children, mischievous teens, and anybody who fails basic behavior checks.
Wow. So we're all doomed.
Yeah, pretty much. So he's like Santa's HR department, but with more fur. So Krampus has a very memorable look. I know we've kind of talked about it. So he has horns twisted like a goat, sometimes massive, symbolizing wilderness and its untamed nature.
Right.
Fur, usually brown or black, shaggy, unkept. Think just rolled out of bed into your nightmares. Cloven hooves, because why stop at partially being a goat?
Right.
Chains, these were added by the church to represent the bidding of the devil. And guess what? That didn't work. Birch rods. So a bundle of sticks used to swat misbehaving kids. The Alpine equivalent of I'm not mad, just disappointed, but slightly more violent.
Now this is something I could get behind though, for real.
Right.
Like at Christmas time, this is a tradition I want to start. It's like come out with your bundle of sticks, you just whip one out and start cracking kids.
Then he would have a basket on his back.
Okay.
So instead of toys, he would use it for kidnapping the worst behaved children.
Let's go.
So one of the few Christmas traditions that comes with a built-in kidnapping subplot.
So here's a funny little like side note is I was thinking about this. We just talked not too long ago about the Popelick Creek monster.
Right.
And the description of Krampus sounds very similar to the Popelick Creek monster.
Mm-hmm.
What if somebody like threw Krampus into a train, was transporting him via boxcar? That train was the one that wrecked. But it's so hot for him in Kentucky because he's used to being in the Alps that the dude's just like sweating, and that's why he was like all greasy and stuff.
That's great. I didn't think about that, but we
actually have Krampus in Kentucky. That's awesome.
So naturally, with any of the cryptids that we talk about, there's a lot of regional variants.
Mm-hmm.
So Krampus is no different. And boy, does he have variants. So let me introduce you to the KCU, or the Krampus Cinematic Universe.
Oh boy.
So in Austria and Bavaria, naturally we have our classic Krampus. This is your main boy, horns, fur, chains, altitude. Austria basically treats Krampus like Santa's chaotic coworker who keeps HR very busy.
No. My man.
Preach. In Germany, you have Knecht Ruprecht.
Oh, okay.
So less demon, more grumpy uncle.
Okay.
So he wears a robe. He has a beard. Permanent.
Smokes a lot.
Talks like this.
Only camels.
I was going to say red 100s, but
What are you kids doing in my yard?
chocolate. Permanent disappointment in humanity.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm with you. I'm with you, buddy.
Does sound like my uncle.
He asks the kids if they know their prayers, then rewards good answers,
Okay.
beats the bad ones,
Yeah.
and sometimes throws candy at them anyway. So he's very emotionally confusing.
Yeah.
You have
Do you know your prayers? And they're like, no. He beats them and then throws candy on them after they're laying on the ground crying.
you get the nondescript butterscotch.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's just a yellow wrapper.
Those strawberry candies that nobody likes.
You have Switzerland or Schmetzuli. So picture a man covered in soot who looks like he lost a fight with a chimney. So I'm thinking, what's the Dick Van Dyke's character from Mary Poppins?
Oh, the chimney sweep. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
So he carries a sack, a switch, and a permanent grim mood.
Nice.
The Swiss variant is less demon and more I haven't slept in 400 years. In Slovenia, you have Parkish, a chaotic cousin.
Okay.
Very similar to Krampus, but somehow louder. If Krampus is in a metal band, Parkish is the drummer who keeps lighting things on fire.
Go.
In Prechten, which is Austria and Germany, we talked about Prechten a little bit.
Yeah.
The older mythic versions, some beautiful, some horrifying, deeply committed to confusing tourists. So we also have Beckenstelle, which is Pennsylvania Dutch.
Okay.
So imagine Krampus, but American and slightly more hillbilly. So Pope Lick Creek
Yeah,
Monster.
it could be him. All right.
So he wears furs, rags, sometimes a raccoon hat. just Davy Crockett with a switch.
These variants of Krampus might be my favorite thing we've done. For
And he carries treats and a whip. So
why'd you say it like that?
what do you mean?
You overemphasized the age.
No, I didn't. I just said whip.
Yeah. Say it again.
Whip.
Anyways, we're doing a bit. Sorry.
Depressingly accurate representation of American culture.
Yeah.
All right. So those were kind of the variants of which were a wild journey. Like I would watch those movies. Could you imagine like
a Loki style show that had all the different Krampus guys in it?
or like
I'd be
Deadpool
all
trying to
over
go through and do the Krampus universe.
That'd be hilarious. I'd be all about watching a full series on Krampus.
Right.
Especially if they all lived up to those like personalities that we were talking about just then. That would be a riot.
Yeah. So decline and rebirth. So in the 20th century, the Catholic Church tried banning Krampus. Again.
Banning. Yeah. Because it usually works out well when the church tries to ban something that's just a cultural thing that people have fun with, right?
Yeah,
it's like
the
here
church
in America.
the church has never decimated cultures before.
Well, yeah,
Especially the Catholic Church.
But it's like here in America, like how people try to, like so many Christians try to like ban Halloween like altogether,
Right.
and it's just like, okay, like I'll beg the question that I beg to everybody that does stuff like that. Is okay, so you tell me what are the limitations on what God can and cannot redeem,
Right.
for His purposes, right?
Yeah.
So if people want to like we do trunk or treat every year for our church, and it's like, okay, if we want to do trunk or treat for our church, and it's doing good things for people in our community and stuff, then why is that a bad thing? I don't understand like why we're having to have that kind of
Right.
fight about it in a sense.
Yeah. And it's just one of those things where it's like it's the over controlling parent kind of thing, where like you try to control so much and it just kind of blows up right back in your face. So government said he was too scary. Some places tried to replace him with a nice non-demonic alternatives.
Okay.
Never goes well. So Krampus returned with folklore revival movements, European tourism, horror movies, internet memes, Krampuslof parades where grown adults chase you through the streets with bells and horns, which was what you were talking
that's
about.
That's part of what I've seen.
Like I've seen like huge, there's a place in Columbus. It's called Fear Columbus.
Okay.
They do a bunch of haunted houses and they do a huge Krampus thing.
Okay.
It's like all indoors and everything, but it's a Krampus themed haunted house basically.
Okay. Gotcha.
So he went from Forbidden Demon to holiday icon faster than Mariah Carey to Frost in November. Oh gosh, she's coming. No, it's December now, so it's fine.
Yeah.
So today, Krampus is a pop culture star, a meme legend, a horror mascot, tourist industry, and surprisingly moral compass. Because, I mean, if you think about it, you don't want to be bad because you don't want to get beaten with a switch, a whip,
Yeah.
Kidnapped.
By a terrifying demon goat man.
Right. So, I mean, it kind of has that, hey, you don't want to be bad because Santa's not going to give you. Oh, you don't want to be bad because you don't want to get the crap beat out of you by Krampus.
Yeah. Coal in your stocking is one thing.
Right.
A demon goat guy showing up at your door and whipping you with birch rods.
Right.
Whole nother ball game.
Say the Lord's Prayer. What?
Yeah, what? Yeah, wrong answer. He doesn't even give you a chance. Nope, you're wrong. It starts beating you.
Which version?
Puts out a cigarette on your forehead.
So, modern Krampus celebrations feature elaborate costumes, parade, fire jugglers, bleh, people in demon suits chasing consenting adults.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Halloween and Christmas had a baby, and the baby just grew horns.
Consenting adults. Like, all right, who wants to be chased by Krampus this year? Like, oh, sign me up.
It's like the Christmas version of Running with the Bulls.
Yeah. Running with the Krampuses. That's hilarious.
Running with the Krampus.
We should start that here in Wadsworth.
Oh my gosh, do a Krampus run
Through the middle of town and like just a
Oh
bunch
yeah.
the Krampus 5K.
But the end is like a really good like Olympic style runner, like chasing you down. If he like hits you, you have to like stop for like 2 minutes and then go.
Or you just have a whole army of like really like Scott Haynes, like really skilled runners.
Yeah.
That are just chasing everybody around and whipping them with canes and stuff. That'd be hilarious.
Let's do it. We'll make dollars.
People get to the end, they're like, I've never run a 5K so fast in my life.
I said so many PRs.
You're like, dude, you ran like a 20-minute 5K today. You're like, I'm gonna die, but I made it. I was safe.
Krampus didn't get me.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, if you get caught, one of your PRs for a race just gets erased.
Yeah. Oh gosh, that'd be so bad.
So that's kind of the tale of Krampus. So
That's cool.
from ancient horn spirit to medieval enforcer to Santa's chaotic coworker, a modern horror icon. He's terrifying. He's hilarious. He's deeply committed to the holiday morale and fortunate. So that has been our December. I figured,
That's great.
when we were talking about this, like who was doing what, like I was like, we got to do Krampus for December. Like it just fits.
Yep, absolutely. I love that. I didn't realize there were that many variations.
Neither
of
did I.
Krampus.
And the funny thing is, I was one of those things where, like, after I did research and everything, I was like, hey, ChatGPT, can you kind of like throw pronunciations in so I can at least get it remotely close?
It's like the weird little spellings that like overemphasize things.
Yeah,
so
like
you can kind of see it.
the umlauts and all the other different little things. But yeah, so yeah, that was Krampus.
Keep using this word. I do not think you know what it means.
That word does not mean what you think it means.
Does not mean what you think it means. So that's really good. I appreciate you sharing about Krampus and stuff. We'll have to think more on a movie plot to get all the Krampuses involved somehow together. It'd be hilarious.
Dude, that would be so funny.
Or a TV series. I would love. Did you ever watch Heroes back in the day?
Heroes.
Yeah. Heroes was on in probably like 2007, somewhere in that ballpark. Because
I don't think so.
Brooke and I watched it while we were in college. But so Heroes, I think we watched it in college. Maybe it was right after college because I was like real big into Lost at that point in time too. But Heroes was essentially like people start developing powers, and every person has like most of them have a specific power that's their own, right?
Okay.
And so like, one guy can teleport, another person can, heal fast. It's just, typical kind of X-Men type of stuff in a sense. But there's this kind of like whole big story that's interwoven behind the scenes in Heroes. And but the cool thing about it is that like you have oh gosh. I think was his name Hero? I think his name was Hero. There was a Japanese guy and like his friend that are in Japan, and then there's like people in like, all these different places around the United States and the world and stuff like that all develop these powers, and then the story like slowly brings them all together, right? And so I would love to see that kind of thing with all the different Krampuses. Like you got the backwoods Krampus is like sitting smoking a camel with his coon cap on and all that kind of stuff,
Strumming on a banjo.
Yeah. He's out there in the woods just hanging out and stuff somewhere in like southern Pennsylvania. And then you cut to, one of them's in the Swiss Alps, and he's, doing his thing and has like a, the Swiss personality in that kind of sense. But everywhere you go, they're all just different enough, but all kind of have the same like background kind of purpose. And then have some kind of big world event that's going to happen that brings them all together to have to work together to like punish naughty children or something like that. Would be hilarious.
Like Santa's been overrun with like the evil in the world and stuff like that.
Well, the naughty list gets out of hand.
Dude.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Tim Allen plays Santa Claus.
Oh gosh. So good. So good.
All right. Now we're going to have to like spend one of the weeks in the off time creating this movie.
We're going to write the script for it and send it off and be like, you guys got to make this now.
This is our idea. Nobody take
it. All right, so as we roll on in this episode, I've got something fun, another thing that I discovered. So like last time we talked about Pizza Hut
and their space marketing program.
Their $1 million to send their logo to space that no one ever saw. So this one came up in amongst many stories that I was kind of looking through as far as like real events with funny twists to them. So what do you know about the Great Rabbit Hunt of 1807?
The Great Rabbit Hunt of, you said 1980s?
1807.
1807?
Uh-huh.
I'm going to go ahead and say I don't know much about it. Like, is it like, the only thing I can think of, historically speaking, was like when kings would go out and do their hunts and stuff. Am I in the ballpark?
You're touching on something, yeah, you are.
Okay,
so
good touch, bad touch. Like,
no, you're kind of in the ballpark. You're pretty good.
Okay,
you ever heard of a guy named Napoleon Bonaparte?
I think I have. He not as short as history claims to be. He was more like
correct.
He was like what? He was average height. Like I think he was like actually like 5'7", 5'8". Like so he was like not nearly as short as stuck his hand because he had an ulcer in his.
Yes. So so Napoleon Bonaparte, like historically speaking, most people think of him as this really short little guy, even though he wasn't that short.
Short king.
Yeah, and so Napoleon was born in 1769 on the island of Corsica, just after France had taken possession of that island, right?
Okay.
So
he's
he was
French.
born, as one of the first French people of Corsica, in that sense.
Of Corsica, he was.
Yeah. So sorry, no, you're good. I like puns. So he grew up in a minor noble family. So what a minor noble family is it means that they had status, so they had position, but not wealth.
Okay.
And so if you're a minor noble family, it just means that like technically you have the title, but you just don't have a lot of money to back that title.
Gotcha.
up.
Which I mean makes sense because it was just an island like that. That makes sense.
Yeah. So from a young age, the thing that Napoleon did have was that he had two very kind of defining qualities about him that would follow him all the way to the imperial throne that he eventually took in France, right? So he had relentless ambition and he had an unshakable belief in his own destiny. So this is kind of like, it's the typical making of a simultaneously really strong leader, but really crazy leader at the same time, right? So at just 9 years old, Napoleon was sent to mainland France to study at military school. He was brilliant in mathematics, strategy, and artillery. He was a bit less brilliant when it came to fitting into society. So I think big.
So
go ahead. Yeah, you're good. Go ahead.
He was autistic.
Maybe. Who knows?
I mean, because like same, bro. Like it's fine.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like we're all in that together. But I think that that's for Napoleon. Like I think that maybe a big part of the reason why the rumor and stuff about his like stature and everything got started was probably because of his just like awkwardness. I would like to think that Napoleon, when it came to like social situations, probably shrunk down a little bit because of his personality, and that made people kind of think of him as diminished or smaller.
Yeah.
So, anyways, he had an accent because he was from Corsican, or a Corsican accent is what he had. But he learned early how to turn being underestimated into a fuel that like fired him up, right? So that was his whole shtick.
Which, I mean, it is a good thing to have that mentality. Like, you're gonna count me out. I'm gonna prove that I'm not.
Right, exactly. And he spent like most of his spare time reading about people like Alexander the Great, Julius Caesar, like big named leaders.
Right.
He studied them like crazy, right?
And it's one of those things, like, historically speaking, that's what I would equate his conquest and ambition towards, and that makes a lot of sense if he was reading those.
Right. And he even said, like, he was quoted as saying during that time period in his life that one day I will join their ranks, right? Like, he would like repeat that mantra over and over again. So his rise began during the chaos of the French Revolution. France was politically unstable. Its armies were disorganized, and Europe was watching everything that was going on in France like a hawk.
Yeah.
So the environment was disastrous for most people, but it created the perfect stage for Napoleon to rise and take bold action in the midst of all of it, right?
Sounds like something that happened a few years later in a country next to France.
Yes, yeah, that's for sure. So Napoleon made his name during the siege of Toulon in 1793, where he devised and executed an artillery strategy that was so effective that the enemy fled the next morning. So he sends in artillery the next morning. They're like, all right, we're packing up.
We're done.
And he was only 24 years old when that happened, right? So he's a young guy. And all of a sudden, all eyes were on Napoleon, right? Everybody starts taking notice of him. From there, things accelerated pretty quickly for Napoleon. He won victories in Italy that turned him into a national hero in France. He led a campaign in Egypt that, while militarily it was mixed, it cemented his image as this visionary leader, and it gave us the discovery of the Rosetta Stone in the midst of all that. Yeah, so lots of cool things are happening around him. So by 1799, France was exhausted from years of revolution and looking for stability, right? So things are just continuing to fall apart in France in a sense. And Napoleon saw his moment. With a combination of political maneuvering, public support, and military pressure, he orchestrates a coup and became the very first consul. Effectively, he was the leader of France at 30 years old, right? So 10 years after, or 6 years after his giant conquest of the siege of Toulon, then he becomes the leader of France. So within a few short years, he had transformed the nation of France. What's that? Short years. Sorry. Short jokes all the way through. But he had transformed the nation. Like, he reformed their laws. He stabilized their economy. He reshaped their government institutions. In 1804, he crowned himself Emperor Napoleon I in a ceremony that was so grand that it rivaled most coronations of kings in history, right?
Right.
So, under his leadership, France expanded dramatically. We know the story of that. He defeated coalitions of European powers, reorganized the map of the continent, and spread ideas of legal equality and administrative order throughout the known world. So it's undeniable. He's brilliant. He was ruthless, and he was an unstoppable force. I mean, this idea that he had of like looking at Alexander the Great and those guys and saying, one day I will join their ranks. Like, he lived up to that. He also had some fun things in his past. And one of those came about in the summer of 1807. So Napoleon had just negotiated the Treaty of Tilsit. The Treaty of Tilsit ended the hostilities between France and Russia at that point in time. So in 1807, like leading up to that, a lot of tensions that were going on between France and Russia because of Napoleon's campaign to take over the world.
Right.
And so they signed this treaty. Spirits are high, right? Everybody's pumped, especially France, because at that point in time, Russia was still pretty big and still a pretty good threat to them. And the emperor, Napoleon, decided to celebrate with his officers and his staff in a very proper French fashion with a grand hunting party.
Right.
Okay. So he orders his chief of staff, Alexander Berthier, to organize this event. He's like, okay, big hunt. I want everything to go smoothly and stuff like that. But, Napoleon, being Napoleon, nothing goes halfway. He's like,
it's all or nothing.
I'm destined for greatness. Everything I do is destined for greatness. So, we're going all in on this big thing. So, this wasn't just a few guys with muskets, right? Like, it's not just Napoleon and his 3 best friends and some dogs and stuff going chasing after game. Berthier arranged for hundreds, some say thousands, of large rabbits to be released for the emperor's hunting pleasure.
How does one get a quote-unquote large rabbit? And what is a large rabbit?
Well, I like to think that these are probably like what we would consider hares.
Okay.
So they're like big rabbits, right?
Yeah.
And so Napoleon tells him, he's like, you don't understand, it's a rabbit with giant fangs.
He can leap about. Look at the bones.
So he tells Berthier, he's like, dude, this needs to be big.
Right.
Like I'm getting all the heads of the army together to celebrate. We're going to go out hunt these rabbits and stuff like that. And I don't want to be let down. I want, as many as you can get type of
It's
thing.
going to be huge.
So Berthier, perhaps thinking practically, didn't send men to trap wild rabbits, right? Because it would have taken forever to get this put together and stuff like that. He's like, I can't get that many rabbits that fast. So instead, he bought them in bulk from local farmers. So he's going around to all these guys who are raising these rabbits probably for meat and stuff.
Right, yeah.
And he's just like, I'll purchase all of your rabbits, right? Like, I'll take everything. The problem with it is that when you purchase rabbits that are being raised by farmers, those rabbits are tame and they're farm raised, right? So they're used to being around people, and most of them usually interact with things and stuff. And so these are not wild hares. These are rabbits that have been raised in cages.
Right.
So domesticated rabbits, as you can imagine, are not afraid of people.
Right. They don't have burrows to go to.
In fact, they associate human beings with
Food.
the one thing that they want, food. Yeah. So the battle begins. The carriages arrived and the cages were opened and the officers were all there ready with their muskets to go hunt these rabbits down as they took off and stuff. But instead of scattering into the fields, these bunnies, when they retreated or when they ran out of their cages, they turned and charged straight for Napoleon and all of his men. So at first, the soldiers began laughing, right?
Yeah.
They're like, that's hilarious. We're here to kill these things.
Right.
They're running towards us. And then hundreds, some estimate up to 1,000 of these rabbits just kept coming towards these men.
Wave after wave after wave.
It was horrible. So witnesses reported that the rabbits swarmed Napoleon's legs, jumped into his coat, climbed his boots, and were going into the top of his boots, thinking that the emperor was there to feed them. The laughter quickly turned into chaos as the tide of rabbits surrounded the imperial party. So now you have all of the leaders of the French army, along with their emperor Napoleon, are standing in this field
Just surrounded
with
by rabbits.
thousands of rabbits surrounding them, like just jumping all over them and stuff. So Napoleon, unamused with this entire thing, as you can
Obviously.
imagine,
Oh, he's ticked.
he tried to shoo them away with his riding crop. So he's got his horse's crop, right?
Yeah.
So he is whipping at the rabbits, trying to get them to go away, to no avail. His generals tried waving sticks. They tried shouting. They even tried kicking some of the rabbits, and still no luck. The rabbits just kept on coming.
They kept reproducing, too. It was crazy.
So eventually, Napoleon had to flee to his carriage, with rabbits still in pursuit of him the whole time, right? Like the stories say that even as he's like stepping into his carriage and getting up into it, the rabbits are literally like hopping at his heels, basically. And so he gets back to his carriage. And they said that the rabbits maybe even were like leaping onto the coach of the steps of the coach of his steps of his coach. Sorry, and the carriage begins to speed off with the emperor inside, leaving behind a field of confused soldiers and very happy rabbits.
Oh my gosh!
So as you can imagine, Berthier, this man who was put in charge of this entire thing, was mortified. Now, Napoleon reportedly, like, this is not, this is kind of more hearsay in a sense. Napoleon reportedly like scolded him for the fiasco, although many people say that when he scolded him, it was through clenched teeth to keep himself from laughing about it and stuff, because he was actually like, in hindsight, he looked back on it and was kind of like, okay, it is kind of funny in that sense. But the event went down as one of the emperor's most ridiculous defeats. It was right up there with Russia, but much furrier.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So the estimates, like just some fun like footnotes on this one, is that the estimates were it was anywhere from 300 to 3,000 rabbits. We don't know for sure, but it was at least hundreds. The French historian Jean-Baptiste Thibault wrote that the rabbits, quote unquote, assaulted the emperor in a most uncouth manner.
Uncouth manner.
And then some versions of the story claim that the coachman had to whip the reins of the horses to drive the rabbits off the road as Napoleon was retreating so that he didn't run the rabbits over.
That's hilarious.
To this day, military historians jokingly refer to this as Napoleon's most adorable defeat.
That's funny.
It's very funny to me.
That is hilarious.
When I came across that story, I was like, there's no shot this is true. So I started doing some diving into it, and it's like, sure enough, there's Wikipedia articles, everything about it. So if you want to read about the story again, you can go back and find. Again, this was the Great Rabbit Hunt of 1807 with Napoleon Bonaparte and all of his military guys.
That's crazy.
Not to be confused with Napoleon Dynamite.
Ugh.
You don't like Napoleon Dynamite?
No.
It wasn't my favorite, but every time I've watched that movie, it's gotten funnier every subsequent time.
So with Napoleon Dynamite, if I would have seen it early in high school, I probably would have liked it.
Yeah, probably so.
But I kind of saw it like in college, and I was just like, this is like dumb humor even for me.
I saw it in college. The first time that I watched it, I was like, some friends of mine had seen it, and they were like, you got to watch this movie. So I watched it with them, and the first time that I watched it, I went away from it going, what's wrong with you guys? Like, this is stupid.
Right.
And then I watched it again, and then I watched it again. And the third time that I watched it, I started going, okay, I see what they're doing, and it's actually kind of funny. And then every time I watched it since then, like even just clips of it and stuff like that, it gets funnier to me. So
yeah, I've just
never kind of grew on me.
I don't know. It's one of those movies where like I saw it. I know it's a huge cult classic movie, but it's just it never did anything for me.
You're gonna eat those tots. That's like one of my favorite things.
But you could take that bike off some sick jumps.
Tina, you fat lard, come eat your food. Gosh.
But
there's some pretty good lines.
You're just jealous because I've been talking to hot babes online.
I can throw this football over that mountain.
Uncle Rico.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Oh man.
So as we get ready to close out this episode, because we're getting pretty close to time, we want to remind you guys that number one, we have a link tree, so we would appreciate you taking the time to go to the link tree, discover all of our social media things, listen to all the things that you can listen to, because it's got all the links there for either Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, wherever you like to consume your podcast at. We're on those different platforms, so go check that out. And we would ask you to please take an opportunity right now, if you're listening to one of our episodes, to share it with a friend and somebody that you know somebody likes one of the topics in this episode. So send it to them and just go like, hey man, they told this really funny story about Napoleon Bonaparte and rabbits and stuff. You should listen to this.
Or they talked about the Krampus cinematic universe and our plans of making it into a movie. So it's one of those things where by the time you listen to this, we will kind of be in the midst of our break.
Yep.
Researching topics. So it's not too late to throw out some topics for us. There's a couple that we've had in the last few comments. I know there's something that I want to look into that we got sent about a cult or a cryptid.
Yeah.
That was mentioned. So yeah, go ahead and share this link. Tag us when you share it. Like, hey, this is a pretty funny podcast most of the time. I mean,
Yeah.
I know
these guys are idiots, but listen to them anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's good, clean fun. We have a lot of fun doing this. We're excited for season 2. We'll be researching and getting ready for season 2 here in January.
Yep.
So this is going to we have 2 more episodes that'll come out after this, and then it'll be the holiday break, and then we'll get right back into it after the first of the year.
That's right. So make sure you let us know what you want us to talk about, because we would love to dive into those topics. And otherwise, we hope that you guys will have a great week this week. We hope that everything's going well for you as far as your Christmas shopping and all that stuff. Hopefully you've got it done. You're just in the wrapping phase now. But either way, we hope you have a great week this week. We hope that you enjoy the holiday season, and we look forward to, we'll see you in episodes 49 and 50. Then we'll be on break for just a couple of weeks, and we'll be back in January to kick off season 2 of this podcast.
Good morning, Josh.
Yep. So we love you guys very much. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.
So,
If you'll excuse me, I gotta go put on my Krampus costume and beat my child.
it's anti-Santa. It's fine. Dude, if you get a chance, check out Mr. Taylor. Have you seen that?
Yeah. Wait. Mr. Taylor is what's his face? Kevin James is playing that guy?
Is it? Okay, is that confirmed?
It's some kind of publicity stunt that Kevin James is playing Mr.
I've heard
Taylor.
that was the rumor. I didn't know if that was confirmed or not.
Yeah. It's some kind of like publicity thing for something he's got upcoming that he's doing.
Because I was going to talk about it, but I was like, maybe we'll save it. But yeah, I saw it. I was like, it can't not be Kevin James.
No, it is. Yeah, it's 100% him. Yeah. I did some research on it because I saw it. It popped up on my timeline. I watched several of the videos, and I'm like, that's Kevin James. Like, it can't be.
It can't not
so
be.
I did. Like I started looking it up, and everybody was talking about how it's like some kind of publicity thing that he started this TikTok account pretending to be a teacher for whatever thing it is that he's doing. I forget what it is, but
like honestly though, good for them. Like that's a good way to like shadow market something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like it's a very
I don't
unique.
I don't know why more actors are not doing that. You're already taking on a personality.
Why not
expand the world and go onto social media and create an account that's that personality and promote your movie that way? Because if people like the content on that account, if you come up with good stuff, then they're like getting endeared to a character that you're going to play in a movie, so they're more likely to be like, I already know Mr. Taylor. Yeah, I'm going to go see the movie.
What if it's like a complete 180 and it's like a horror movie or something like that? Dude, I would be all in for that.
Well, can you imagine like if they started a TikTok thing, and I know that like to some degree they would have to like give it away so that people wouldn't be calling the cops and stuff like that all the time on it. But like if you started the thing and it was this is going to sound really twisted, but if it was like a serial killer and they were like getting prepped for what I'm about to do tonight, but weren't specifically saying the things and stuff, but you could kind of see and put pieces together from what's around them or whatever. And so you build like the case in a sense before the movie ever even comes out. So when you go to watch it, they're going like, okay, we know these things are in place. And so like maybe who's the target or who is responsible for X thing or whatever. It'd be interesting. Like there's a lot of twists and ways you could kind of take that and manipulate the audience in a sense. I think it'd be fun. Yeah. Look at us coming up with crazy good ideas. Well, I mean, Kevin James came up with the idea, I guess.
Right. We're just kind of expounding on it.
Yeah. Well, we're making it better, Kevin. We know you listen to the podcast.
Yeah.
So.
Duh.
Doesn't everybody?